New Zealand. A friend of mine, nice place.
Last time I spoke to the president, he gave me grief about my hair.
Your hair is beautiful.
I thought so. But he said that it was.
So just the one joke, just the bald joke that we recycle, but there it is. He had dinner after this with Trump, with Albo, with Carney from Canada, Vietnamese leader was there, South Korea, Singapore. This, of course, is all at APEC. Jamie Ensor is senior political journalist from the Herald with us this morning. He's been travelling with the Prime Minister. Jamie, thank you for being with us. I know it is a god-awful hour there. Good for the PM to get FaceTime.
Yeah, it's a significant win for not only the Prime Minister, but for New Zealand. You know, any opportunity that a New Zealand leader has to get in front of a US president, especially this US president, has got to be chalked up as a win. You know, Donald Trump has been flying around the world recently, signing trade deals with various Asian nations. There had been some, question, could New Zealand get our trade tariffs reduced at some point along this trip? That was never really realistic. Just getting in front of the guy, trying to build a relationship between Mr. Luxon and Mr. Trump is really, really important for a small trading nation like New Zealand. And as you've seen from that interaction, it seems to have gone relatively well. There was a warmth between the two. Some video that we've received from the Prime Minister's office of their behind-the-scenes meeting shows that they were talking about the likes of golf. They both have an interest in that. So things have seemed to go well. And, with Donald Trump, that's not always a given.
No, certainly not. What about the tariff thing? I mean, you mentioned it's the first time they've even, set eyes on each other. Is it the kind of place you raise it? Did he raise it?
Mr. Luxon wouldn't go into what he says was, a blow-by-blow of what they discussed. You wouldn't expect him to go into it in any sort of detail. You'd want to build the relationship, build a bit of rapport before going into kind of the nitty-gritty, the issues that New Zealand has. But the Prime Minister did give away that it did come up amongst the leaders at that really, really intimate dinner. It was a topic. It's unclear who raised it and the context of that, but it's something that everyone's talking about. Mr. Trump is going to be meeting with the Chinese President Xi Jinping today. There's a highly anticipated meeting, so of course it is on everyone's minds.
Yeah, and Carney, well, he would have been out in the cold a bit in that dinner. He was there, wasn't he? Because he's the one that Trump's been tweeting about lately, saying, all the talks are off, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So it'd be interesting to see if maybe it was the Canadian Prime Minister who raised it, maybe in a friendly sort of way to try and get some sort of, discussion going with the US president. As Mr. Carney came into the room, I was in there and I was listening to some of the media questions being yelled out to the Canadian Prime Minister. They were all asking, are you going to be raising it? Has there been any developments? So, this is what people were talking about, especially at an economics forum like APEC. So, of course, it would have been raised in some sort of way.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, what's the PM's movements now?
Yeah, so believe it or not, APEC actually hasn't officially started, so that's going to start in the next few hours later today. The Prime Minister, though, is actually going to be heading down to Busan. It's about an hour and a half from here. He's going to be doing some business meetings. He's going to go to a United Nations cemetery where we've got some fallen New Zealand soldiers buried, and then he'll get into the actual APEC sessions and